How's it, guys? Welcome to another edition of Atort Tutorials post Christmas 2016. A lot of people always want to know what I do to edit on the fly on my iPhone, and I'm going to show you what I get into. So to kind of edit like a rock star, there's a lot of potential on the iPhone, a lot more than people realize. I'm going to go into my little photo app area, and as you see, I have circular text, which actually I use for watermarking. I got max curve, which allows me to adjust curves, individual colors, so I can do different channels like the red, green, blue channel, anyway. Not going to get into that now. Photo Forge, which is an older app which Yahoo ended up buying, and it is a phenomenal app, and unfortunately it's not supported or in the App Store any longer, so just disregard that. I'm going to go into Snapseed. It's kind of the go-to. I'm going to go ahead and hit open. I'm going to find a file that I transferred over that I shot yesterday for my D500. So it's an image of a wave. And as you see, it looks pretty good. There's some splashy kind of stuff happening. Maybe I would want to get into it and clean that up a little bit just so it's not distracting. But I can go into Tune Image, and Tune Image is usually what I go into first. You can go ahead and hit the saturation a little bit, not too much. I went plus 33. I can actually, sometimes it looks better if you kind of decrease the shadows, but for now I'm going to kind of bring them down a little bit. I'm looking at the mountains too. I don't want those to get too dark. Personally, I like a little detail in them, so I'm going to go minus, say, 14 for now. So right now I just did a teeny little adjustment, and if you see inside Snapseed now, they have a healing command. So if I go over here, your eye as a photographer and as someone viewing images is always drawn to the brightest area. So as you see, the brightest area is to the top. My eye automatically goes to that spot. But if I go ahead and use this little healing tool, you'll see with one swipe, it does a pretty good job. I mean, I can go ahead and hit the little arrow and undo, and every time I do it, it will do a little better. But, for right away, without really getting into much, there's a little repetition, which I'm not really digging, so I'll go in and kind of plop it one more time, and as you see, boom. So you can actually retouch in Snapseed. I don't like doing, like, little detailed stuff, so I can go ahead and hit these little three dots and go in the open. So it's going to open in another app. So I'm going to bring it in the copy to retouch. So this is an app called Retouch, and this is a super advanced little app for cloning and like spot removal and stuff. So if I go in and use this brush, I can actually hit that little arrow and I can do quick repair. If I just go and blop that, and there's a little arrow up on the top right next to that little house. That's an undo button. So every time I do something, if I don't like the way it removed it, I can just go ahead and try again and see, I can try object removal, I can try quick repair. So let me try quick repair. No, that worked worse. So if I do a little bit more, all it's doing is cloning pixels. So as you see, I can go ahead and start removing. I could even remove this guy. Boom, he's just gone. See ya, dude. So over here, I can remove like the little splash. I can remove that. And as you see, you can kind of get pretty good results. It's not bad. And I mean, right here, there's some of these little areas that maybe don't look super flattering. Oh, that looked worse. Undo that. But I don't want to get totally into it. I just wanted to show you guys the power of actually retouching and removing spots and stuff on your phone. I mean, this thing clones and does a really good job at matching the pixels up correctly. So again, this is called Retouch. Whoop, accidentally doing that. So say I wanted to remove this little sign. I can just go drag my finger. I'm in the, whoop, that didn't work well. But as you see, I mean, it does work. It's not going to be perfect, but as long as it blends the pixels in a way that you can't tell and the viewer can't tell, and there's not a lot of repetition or patterning, I think that's a word, you're all right. So from there, Here, I mean, even this little spot area, I can go ahead and boom. And again, this is only for, say, social media or a quick post. I'm not necessarily going to print this one. I would work this in Photoshop and do it properly, or do it a little bit more accurately. So now from here I can hit this arrow and I can go back and open in to Snapseed. So I'm going to import with Snapseed. It's going to ask me if I want to go ahead and overwrite the other image I was working on. Yes. And there. So just from this, and then I can go, if I want, add a little detail. I can go in the structure, which adds a little bit higher radius sharpening. You know, and just kind of add a little bite to it. It'll add a little detail too. And then save it. And boom. But if you see from here, and I'll revert back to the original. Revert. Yes. Oh. Our hair. Hold on. I think because I reopened a newer version, it's just reverting back to the one I just retouched. So I'm going to go ahead and hit open. And I'm going to go back to the original image. And if you see the difference, it's pretty noticeable. Boom. So from there to there. And that's all on my iPhone in a matter of, like, realistically I can do that in 30 seconds, a minute. So then you can go ahead and email it, resize it. You can go ahead and, you know, I can go back in and I got this little simple resize. I can go and do this, hit photo. It's just a free app, I think. Right now it's at 1620, as you see in the upper right, or upper left, I'm sorry, 1620 by 1080. Say I want to make it around 1200 pixels or so, whatever. I'm not going to care about the accuracy. Hit save. And then I can go into, say, circular text, hit photos, grab the now resized version, which is around 1200 pixels, hit new. This is going to add a new watermark. I can hit text. I can do like Atort photography or something, whatever. Can spell it correctly. And then I can go into font. I could change the font. I personally use a little script just because I think it looks a little nicer, but whatever. You can go here, you can drag and kind of, you know, you can make it smaller, you can make it larger. If you're worried about people taking it, you can then go and, you know, lower the opacity or the transparency. Like that, or whatever you want to do. For this one, I'll just go ahead and do full and just kind of do it on the side. And then you can save, and then you're good to go. So all of that, from cloning, to watermarking, to resizing, to color correcting, all on the fly on your iPhone. So hope that helped. Aloha, guys.